Please tell them your name and unafanya kazi gani?
Good morning. My name is Charles Prince Oduk. I'm a tech entrepreneur. So basically, I run an IoT startup company, tech company. So I think the most impressive thing about my company is all our products are made from scratch. We already have 2 in the market. So they are centered around security and agriculture.
Positive vibrations on the morning vibes.
Prince Charles, tell us, how did you start? Ulisema unafanya kazi na techie. You're a techie. Yeah. When did the passion for techie begin?
So I think when I stepped into campus, that's in 2012. I did mechatronics engineering in JKUAT.
Hey.
I'll say JKUAT. You know we're here, by the way. Thank you so much for JKUAT. JKUAT Juja?
Juja, yes.
Boys school?
Juja boys.
Juja boys? Wait, we didn't guess for Juja.
Wallahi.
Yeah.
That's dope.
I
was in Karen though, but yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
So I think for me, engineering has always been a passion. Technology, I don't know, everything is just, turning around towards technology. So at the time, I was just doing a lot of stuff, just connecting wires, connecting electronics, seeing how they work.
Yeah.
But then I think what really inspired me to start the electronic lockers.
Yeah.
Bebabeggie is an electronic locker company. So basically, we provide these lockers in town, clubs, malls.
That was dope, man.
Yeah. So you as the user, when you don't want to walk around, I mean, I just stepped in here with my bag.
Yeah, man. I should have had like an electronic
locker. Bebabeggie. So you as the user, it's just a simple like the way you use your ATM. So you either tell the system you're storing or you're retrieving.
Okay.
So once you're storing, we'll ask you for your M-Pesa number. And then once you do that, the locker pops open automatically. You store your stuff, you move around, stroll, do whatever it is you want to do. And then when you come back, we will use the same M-Pesa number to bill you.
Awesome.
Yeah, so we'll ask you just input your M-Pesa number to confirm that this booking is there. So if that M-Pesa number is not registered within the system, it will not prompt you to, it will tell you that this number, there's no booking around on this number. But if that number is actually there, you'll be asked to, what we call the STK push on your phone will just pop up. You make the payment, and the locker pops open. So
that's amazing.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
How many lockers spaces do you have?
Yeah.
At the moment, we have around 7 locations, including Whiskey River, the club.
Yeah.
But then I'm planning to expand. I think one of the things that has made me not to scale all over Kenya is that we were still trying the model. It's been an 8 years journey.
Oh snap!
Yeah.
Hey.
So like I mentioned earlier, I think what really pushed me towards coming up with the idea was one day I was just walking around in town with a friend, and then the laptop disappeared. I mean,
typical
they always
story.
find a way. Yeah. So you're carrying your bag, but then you're now feeling it's lighter.
Hey, Nairobi, you're tired with this city.
Yani hiyo time yote ulikuwa tu nafikiri uende unastunya.
Yeah. It's a busy. Nairobi is
it's true.
It's a busy.
Yeah, and you're so distracted you can't even pay attention to what's happening on your back.
Everybody is just pushing you here and there. But then a laptop worth 150,000.
You donated it.
That is crazy. Utapata liuza hata na 5K.
Wallahi.
Yeah. So that triggered you to start this idea.
Yeah.
Wow.
So from connecting wires now, I was like, I think this can actually be an idea. So in 2018, I met the CEO of Africa Stocking. His name is Sam Gikandi. So I basically just told him, I think I have this amazing idea about storage, security.
You just approached him, Mama? Did you know him before?
I didn't know him.
That's amazing, dude.
Yeah.
That's dope. That's dope.
Sorry, pardon me. Mse wa stalking zanengia ajina
Africa stocks.
Oh, stocks.
Africa stocking. Like Africa is talking.
Stocking like goods.
No,
it's talking people.
Talking. Mimi nimesikia stock.
See, that's what me nitaka mse anauza stalking anakusaidia.
Wewe umesikia stalking.
Alafu sasa umesema sasa ni stalking. So as in Africa wenyewe wana stalk wase ama sasa umesema Africa is talking.
Africa is kubonga.
Mazi, unaona? Wacha hiyo story permeate kidogo.
Positive vibrations on the morning vibes.
And we are speaking to Prince Charles, who's the founder of Bebabeggie. Na amesema hii story ya kutembea town na chapa laps, unajua kuna msee ametime kujidonatisha hiyo laptop yako. Na fadhali wende to one of their outlets watch nini laptop yako huko wako na lockers fiti. I gotta ask you, how did this idea come to you?
So
I mean, you told us the robbing, but forget now the idea, the execution. Unajua ukikuwa na hiyo idea, from removing it from okay, that sounds great. Where do I start?
So I think one of the things that has actually propelled me is my passion. So when I realized that the idea was there, a lot of people did not even believe that I could actually get here today. I mean, it's been since you won't believe, like around 3 years ago, this idea was basically a plastic model. So once I got into Africa Stocking, I told them I think I have this amazing idea, and they were like, I think we will not actually invest into the idea, we are going to invest in your passion.
That's dope.
Yeah. So the guy said, what exactly are you looking at? I don't know. You definitely know how to execute your stuff.
Yeah.
So I was given some little funds. I went into the industrial area, and then I told the guys I want to create these lockers.
Yeah.
It's just a basic concept for now. And the guy was like, a lot of people have been here. I mean, a lot of people have been here asking for electronic lockers. Are you sure you can execute this? And I was like, yeah, just make me the locker.
Yeah. See
so
what
once
happens.
they created it, I took it to the office. By that time, we were in Galana Plaza.
Yeah.
So it was just a matter of time until Safaricom actually came to view what the idea was about. So of course we've been iterating since that time, and then we now created what we called an API.
What is an API?
An API is it's basically a code that runs on the back end. So it's basically like the brain, right? So the lockers are connected via internet. That's why it's called Internet of Things, IoT. So every single time you I don't know, you're accessing the storage or whatever, the menu, it has to communicate to the back end. That's how the back end knows that this guy has actually stored for say 2 hours. Maybe that's 90 shillings, right? Yeah. So once we linked the two, of course I was given a team.
Yeah.
So the team has been working with me, and the good thing about Africa's Talking is they actually help you venture into the market.
Yeah.
But then of course last year when Corona came in, a lot of things were almost everywhere.
I'm sure.
So we were like, maybe Corona is just, I don't know, here for only 2 months. So we stopped a bit. But then we realized this thing is not going anywhere. So we started looking at what is the one thing that Corona has taught us. Contactless. You don't need to, you need to maintain as much contactless
Distance, yeah.
Yeah, so we started using the lockers for deliveries.
Okay.
When you're delivering something to me in town, you don't have to meet me physically. You just go to the lockers. I'm comfortable, maybe probably picking at the station in Kenya Cinema. So I'll tell you, just leave it there, and then I'll come pick it later on.
Nice.
At the same time, if you want to buy something in town, it will mean that you'll pay for delivery fees, delivery charges, right?
Okay.
To your office. But then if I'm let's say if I'm working in Lavington, but I still have to go through town to get home, why must you bring it to me?
Exactly.
You can actually leave it there,
town,
and then of course the fees are
much lower than the transport.
Much lower than the transport, right? And then so it's cumulative charging. What we mean by cumulative charging is, for the first 1 hour, it's standard. You have to pay at least 60 shillings. But then as you continue storing, it reduces per hour.
Yeah.
As little as
that 60 bob is also regardless of the amount of goods that the guy is storing. It depends also on whatever you're trying to
what
put
are
in
the
locker.
sizes of the lockers?
Yeah, so the sizes, you as the user, once you press store, you'll have to look at the sizes that are available.
Okay.
Yeah, so there's small, medium, and large, and in special cases, extra large. So once, let's say I pick small, of course once you look at your bag, this looks like it could be medium, right? And then you'll just pick from there. Of course, there's a pricing list on the sticker on the lockers, and then also the user journey, how you can basically just book your locker, put your stuff in there, and then go. So you're being billed based on time and size.
I would imagine. Yeah.
Positive vibrations on the morning vibes.
We're talking to Prince Charles, who is he's the founder, the brains behind Bebabeggie, which is smart electronic lockers that are situated across the city. Right now you're in Nairobi only, right? Yeah. Now, there's something you mentioned. You said that you have even opened these lockers in clubs. Why? Why clubs?
So I think one of the things that during, of course, when we are developing the business model, we had to look at what are the locations where people usually, you want to find the easiest time, but then you have something that you have to carry around. So in clubs, ladies particularly, they usually just come around with their handbags, and they lose phones and stuff like that. So I think once we sat down with that idea, we said, why not try the clubs? Why not try the cinema halls like IMAX and stuff? But then the other part that we actually introduced was charging ports.
So fantastic.
Yeah, so we have charging ports inside the lockers that you do not pay extra for. So what you do is you just book the locker, and then you get a charging port inside. So yeah, I think why will I have to go back home to drop my bag to come back to a club?
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, so let's say I'm coming from, I don't know, campus. Maybe I'm in UN, and then I live in I don't know, Kahawendani maybe. So why must I go all the way to Kahawendani then come back to town to party, right?
Sure.
Yeah. So if we can provide those storage spaces within environments that give comfort to the users, that's exactly why we went for the clubs.
Wow, this is a really great idea, electronic lockers. But I'm sure it's, doing business in a lot of young people say, and we're talking about this, that some of the biggest challenges we have, especially for startups, is, lots of taxes and all sorts of things. What challenges have you gotten as a startup as you're doing this business?
Yeah. Okay. So I think one of the most pressing things, of course, when you're starting a company or rather an idea, and I will tell you for free, this is why most of us, with the youth in Kenya, we're giving up quite at a very early stage. I will tell you for free that we've not even broken even ourselves. But then, of course, we have people asking questions. I don't know, guys are just stepping in. I think the other day we even got a call from South Korea. They were asking if they can partner with us. I don't know, introduce fingerprints to the lockers.
Nice.
Yeah.
You think that's a good idea?
Well, not at the moment. Yeah. To be honest.
Yeah.
I think they will buy me.
Oh, wow.
They'll get you out of the business.
Yeah. But then for me, I think I just want to concentrate on Africa, changing the way the world looks at us. I mean, how many tech products do we know that are produced in Kenya?
For sure. By Kenyans.
Yeah, by Kenyans. For Kenyans, actually. Yeah. So taxing has been one of the biggest issues we are facing. I mean, when I have to bring in some few of the electronics, of course it's a combination of stuff.
Yeah.
So once say for instance the locks, I buy them at 400 from China, but then when they get here, the final price gets to almost 3 times 1,500.
That is ridiculous.
Yeah.
That's so
that's
expensive.
really huge.
Yeah.
Because of taxes.
Yeah, because of taxes. Yeah. So if I think the okay, by there I also happen to have won an award by the government via World Bank. Yeah. So when we attended the event with the president, he mentioned something like 7 years tax holiday for startups.
Yeah, how you feel about that?
I can't wait for that.
It's also in the BBI, by the way.
Yeah. So we're technically not support BBI. No, we're kidding. But then, which also brings me to this question I asked you when we were on break. What kind of as a business person, as a young person, we're going into an election year. What kind of campaign promises are you looking forward to?
I think if our leaders can actually support us, not by speech, not by, like you say you want to support the youth, but then where you're still coming back to hit them hard.
Right.
Because a lot of things are not usually put on air for us, right? So you start something, the minute it starts rising, now everyone is now pointing the guns at you. So if our leaders can actually execute what they always promise us,
these ideologies and stuff, like
what? Be specific.
I think introduction of innovation hubs, that actually support the youth to bring up valid ideas that can actually change or rather make a difference in the African lives. The reason why Kagame or rather Rwanda is rising faster than us is Kagame he literally decided that no, I think I need to invest in listening to how people are reasoning towards developing this country. But we lack that here.
Yeah, you don't think that we are listening to the people within the country? Young people especially?
When it comes to our leaders, no.
Yeah.
I don't believe.
We don't take
Yeah.
their feedback
Do you
seriously.
think,
Our young guys.
Kenyans have the solutions to problems? I mean, Bebabeggie is one guy whose bag was, laptop was stolen in Tao, and he was like, 8 years later, here he has come up with a solution. Do you know how many young people are seated with the solutions?
Yeah, I know a lot of them. You'll be surprised. A lot of people actually come to me, and by there I'm campaigning for youths just to bring up their ideas and never give
Yeah.
up. So I always, take them through the kind of challenges they'll face, what they need to do with
Yeah.
themselves. There are amazing ideas out here, but everybody is always afraid of executions because there's no one there to support.
Let me ask you, by the way, speaking of ideas, when you're, I'm sure you've been engaging with different clients, potential partners, when you're pitching to them your idea, you say you have this product over here. What are some of the concerns that they have? What questions did they ask you regarding its usability?
I think everybody is usually scared of the fact that the lockers can be used for storing contraband, drugs and stuff like that.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, but then our bargain point is we install these lockers in secured locations. So if you go to town, we don't just put it on the street.
Yeah.
So if you have a shop but then you have a space, we have to take a site visit, and that's one of the reasons why I'm still only in Nairobi, because that will involve a lot of traveling. Yeah. So there are concerns around stuff like what is being stored in the lockers. So what we usually do. Oh, and by the way, we partner with businesses. So if you have a shop in town that sells clothes, but then you only have a small space, we ask you for that space and access to electricity, and then we give you a commission based.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's amazing, dude. That's really dope. Alafu sasa, if you want to scale, like for example, you want to take your business to other counties, what's it going to take for you to do that? At what point will you do that? Because Nakumbuko you mentioned you don't have plans to do that yet. Did you say that though? I think you mentioned something like that.
We actually do have plans to scale further. And you'll be shocked. I'm not only looking at Kenya, I'm looking at Africa.
I like that.
Yeah.
Dude. That's
Yeah.
amazing.
So so I think one of the most pressing things at the moment is how do we scale past where we are already? Because the tech is brand new. So we still have to monitor. Of course, you have to be scared a bit when you're introducing a new idea. Especially when it's tech. Everybody's like, China is the way to go. No, that's not true. So we are scaling. Yes. We're actually in communication with the KWS for delivering lockers to beaches in Mombasa.
Okay.
So we have actually taken
Dude, that's a good idea.
They're online. So I think that we are actually in the final stage of that. So that means we'll actually be having lockers in Mombasa. We have interested guys in Nakuru. We have interested parties in even Tanzania. We have people who have actually contacted us.
Wow. So this is a really great idea for sure, and we can see that you're clearly going to be scaling. But as we wind down, where do you see yourself in like 10 years? I know I don't like asking this question, but seeing where the business is, and you must have this big dream. What's this big dream?
As a prince.
Yeah. For me personally, I'd like to see Bebabeggie when I go to space. I don't want to be...
Wow.
I like that.
Why are you all laughing?
Because you're very ambitious, Sheila.
Yeah, I don't want Bengothers to just be floating. I need a cabinet where I leave my things. So that when I'm taking photos out there.
Floating lockers.
Yeah, I don't want Bezos to akwe na nibia vitu ko.
You have made my day, man. Your brothers in space.
You know, not just in a floating.
You're crazy.
I don't have this Bebabeggie, so I'm definitely expecting that Bebabeggie will be in my spaceship. But where do you see this going?
Where do you see yourself, by the way?
Yeah. And Bebabeggie in 10 years.
Personally, I think at the stage where I am, the idea is already out there. So I think it's a matter of making people aware of the product and just to tell them that you can use as little as only 20 shillings to store your stuff. Of course, I want to scale. I want to see my lockers in Rwanda, South Africa, Tanzania, everywhere. But of course, limitations have been brought up by the fact that we only use M-Pesa. So there are countries that do not have mobile money. Say like Nigeria. Nigeria is a very huge market, but then we can't go there yet because
Ethiopia.
And Ethiopia.
Ethiopia have just taken M-Pesa, bro.
Yeah.
And there's like close to 100 million people there.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, the good thing is mobile money is expanding right now.
Yeah.
So once we can scale, I mean, Africa's talking, they have, I don't know, what is it, 20 markets, African markets.
Right.
So we want to use those footprints just to, scale beyond that. And then, of course, the technology will keep on growing.
Yeah.
We'll introduce things like smart cards, loyalty cards, where you just, top up the card. Then you just go there and tap.
And you have it figured out.
Yeah.
Ah.
So once you have that kind of a system, then there is nowhere you cannot scale.
Prince Charles, there are parents right now who are telling their kids to, focus in school. But my personal opinion, that's why I've said mine, is that every kid on this continent needs to learn how to work the internet from the moment they're born. And even if this kid never goes into a class and learns math or English, but they know computers. And IT and at a very early age. What would be your thought on that?
Sorry?
Because there's a lot of people listening to you across the country. Na mtoi ata engage na computer akiturn 18 akikuja na hii.
So it's actually true. I think when I was growing up, I never even I never used to see computers.
How old are you, by the way?
Yeah. Sorry?
How old are you? No, just say, bro.
Let me guess.
Yeah.
I knew that was the age I was gonna guess.
What did you say? What did you say?
29.
Oh,
because
okay.
Prince Charles kind of became massively popping when he got married to Diana.
And he was at that age?
It was at that age.
Sure.
I know these things.
Yeah, so I think the one of the things that needs to be taken care of is how do the young people engage with the internet. There's a lot of content on the internet. Some of them are very toxic. Some of them ruin people at a very early stage. And right now, with everything as it is, the internet can either create you or break you.
Yeah, man.
So you have to actually know what content you're consuming from the internet. So having kids, being able to start learning about technology at an early stage is very important for us. And that could potentially mean that a lot of things are going to shift, towards tech side.
It's really happening.
It's actually happening. So, it's important that kids are introduced to these things earlier. I've worked with people who literally dropped out of school. But the amount of stuff they're doing, man, you can't.
Speaking of which,
we had some guys here in studio
nerds
who had a prosthetic arm
and
running.
you've seen them,
and
they're my friends.
Nata kwenda uni. So this thing,
It's
I'm
crazy.
telling you, if you're a parent out there, you're listening to me, tech.
Let me ask you about this, Sheila, because wrapping up. Nini,
Prince.
what do you think about the Prince? What do you think about the quality of tech education in our universities? Is it legit? Is it up to standards?
Not really. Because I will tell you for sure. Nobody will even tell you how to code. But somebody just mentioned there's a programming language called Python, called C++, C. But then if you do not put yourself into that, there's zero work. So a lot of you will be taught things in class from paper, but then practicals, I think we're still on the low.
Wow. All right. Bebabeggie, how do they get in touch with you? If there's businesses that want to work with you, if there's potential investors, if there's, customers who want to see your products and where the stalls are, how do they get in touch with you?
So we have a website, that's www.bebabeggie.com. Bebabeggie is BEBABEGGIE.com. We also have our lines, official lines, that's 0745 555 632. We also on social media, Facebook, Bebabeggie. That's Bebabeggie blockers. So we are also on Twitter. So once you basically just step in there, you'll see all the locations we are based in. So that's in Tao. We are in Odeon, Reinsurance Plaza. We are in Kenya Cinema. We are in River Road and still expanding. So right now we are at Whiskey River Club. We will soon be moving to IMAX. So it's once you just get on our website,
you'll know.
You press on locations and then you can see all of them.
Thank you so much, Prince Charles, for coming through this morning and inspiring the youth.
Thank
Kwa sababu
you.
kuna msema ze alipatikana na shida, lakini unaona ka Prince Charles, and this is something I've learned from you. Prince Charles ye alipatikana na shida, akwenda tu kwa base kwanza. Maze wakachukua laptop yangu maze. Alafu maze wacha nikwambie, nilisema next time nipata na huo mse, maze nitamtoanga. Wewe ulipatikana na shida. ukadecide kuenda kudiscuss na maboys wako kwa base badala kukame up na solution yenye ulikuwa nayo. Follow Prince Charles' footsteps, which is when find any problem, what can be the solution so this never happens to you or other people. I love it.
Positive vibrations on the morning vibes.